Cormac McCarthy knew you'd lose yourself trying to keep the peace. Cormac McCarthy didn't just write about violence, he wrote about silence, about what it costs to stay good in a world that no longer rewards it. In No Country for Old Men, Sheriff Bell watches the world slip out of his hands, not because he's weak, but because the rules changed and he refused to become cruel to keep up. You feel that every time you keep the peace by starting war inside yourself. You've been trained to betray yourself, not in grand cinematic moments, but in the quiet, everyday ones. In the text you send when you should have stayed silent. In the apology you offer when you weren't wrong. In the space you shrink just to be accepted. And now, your nervous system is exhausted, your soul diluted. And the worst part? You still think this is love. You still think this is who you are. Let's fix that. Let's destroy the version of you that was built to survive, but was never meant to thrive. Welcome to the rite of separation. This is the beginning of your withdrawal, not from people, but from the patterns that keep you enslaved. You ready? Chapter 1, The Price of Being Available. You give too much. Not because you're generous, but because you're terrified. Terrified of being left, misunderstood, or seen as cold. So you stay accessible. You answer quickly. You explain yourself too much. You soften your voice, your truth, your boundaries. And for what? For people who don't see your worth unless it's on sale. You confuse being available with being lovable. But they're not the same. One is a door that swings open for anyone. The other is a fortress with a key only few deserve. You think keeping peace will make you safe. But the peace you keep is fake. It's a performance. A silent contract you never signed. You were taught to please, to appease, to never be too much, to keep your storms quiet, even when the world is burning you from the inside out. But hear this, your energy is sacred, your time is finite, and your attention is currency. If you don't protect it, you will bankrupt your soul for people who would never do the same for you. Are you ready to stop leaking your life force? Let it sink in. Chapter 2, Emotional Manipulation Disguised as Love. They say they care, but only when you're useful, only when your empathy is convenient, only when your emotional availability serves their comfort. This is not love. This is control. Control wrapped in praise, wrapped in guilt, wrapped in "but you're the strong one" narratives. They feed off your compassion because it's easy, because you never say no, because you never disappear. And when you finally pull away, they call you cold, selfish. They say, "You've changed." You're supposed to. This isn't rejection. It's reclamation. Reclaiming your psychic energy. That invisible fuel you've been giving away in every anxious thought, every silent resentment, every smile that hid a scream. You owe no one your breakdown, not for love, not for loyalty, not for history. What you owe is your soul to yourself. Are you brave enough to be misunderstood? Let it sink in. Chapter 3: The Power of Withdrawal. You don't need to fight. You don't need to explain. You don't need to scream your boundaries into the void. You just need to withdraw. Pull back your energy. Detach your attention. Redirect your life force. Withdrawal is not punishment. It is alignment. Alignment with your peace, your purpose, your path. They will call it abandonment, but it's actually self-rescue. You are stepping out of a house that's been burning for years, one you stayed in because you were scared of being cold. But silence isn't cold, it's sacred. Stillness isn't empty, it's full of you. You've given enough. Now it's time to return to yourself, without noise, without guilt, without fanfare. Just leave. Let it sink in. Chapter 4: Individuation Becoming Whole. The psychological term is individuation. Carl Jung described it as the process of becoming who you truly are. Not who your parents wanted, not who your partners preferred, not who your culture conditioned, but you, unmasked, untamed, unapologetic. You don't get there by adding, you get there by subtracting, removing the roles, the scripts, the masks. It's brutal, it's lonely, but it's freedom. You become whole when you stop being split between who you are and who the world trained you to be. You become whole when you can sit in your own presence and not flinch. This is the sacred work. This is the internal war you must wage to become yourself. Are you ready to burn the costume? Let it sink in. Chapter 5: Loneliness as the Beginning of Freedom. They never told you this. Loneliness is the gate, not the prison. You're not dying. You're detoxing. Detoxing from people-pleasing, over-explaining, and trying to be understood. There's a silence that comes after you stop explaining yourself. It's loud at first, but eventually it becomes holy. That silence, that's the sound of you meeting yourself, maybe for the first time. You've been addicted to validation, but now you're sober. And it's painful, but it's clean. And freedom isn't a crowd. Freedom is a room where you finally breathe without permission. Let it sink in. Chapter 6: Choosing Peace Over Performance. Every day, you'll be tempted to perform again, to jump back into the dance, to check if they're watching, if they approve, if they still love you. But hear this: you are not here to be digestible. You are not here to earn rest by suffering first. You're here to protect your peace like it's the last sacred thing you own. Because it is. Choosing peace will cost you. It will cost you certain relationships. It will cost you approval. It will cost you versions of yourself you outgrew. But it will buy you. You. And that is priceless. Let it sink in. Final chapter: subscribe to yourself. You've listened this far, not because you need a voice to tell you what's wrong, but because deep down, you already knew. You were just waiting for someone to say it out loud, to confirm what your soul has been whispering for years. You're not too much. You're not too distant. You're not selfish for wanting peace. You are simply done. Done breaking yourself to keep others whole. Done leaking your energy into people who don't pour back. Done shrinking to stay safe. So what now? You stop waiting. You stop begging. You stop performing. And you choose your silence, your solitude, your sovereignty. You choose you. Don't subscribe to this channel. Subscribe to your own becoming, to your peace, to your sacred yes, to your holy no. If you're ready, type it in the comments. Say, I choose my peace. Then keep listening.